Hi, so the next video in this series about getting rent-to-rent deals from letting agents is a principle that I call win-win-win, so a triple win. What do we mean by that? Well, it needs to win. It needs to be a win for everyone involved. So the landlord, the letting agent and you. So if we take a scenario where you win because you're making lots of money and the landlord wins because they're getting above market rent for 200 quid or 10-20%, that's all good. But the letting agent doesn't win, the letting agent doesn't feel, these guys are both making money at the end of the deal and I'm still making my 10% and my 50 quid a month. They're not going to take those deals to landlords and they're not going to give you any more deals in the future. So it needs to definitely be a win for the agent. It could be a win for the agent and you, and you've structured a deal where they get a couple of hundred quid and you get £1,000 a month, but the landlord still gets the same rent or gets below market rent because the agent structured it in such a way that they take a skim off the top. If the landlord finds out about that, they're going to cancel the deal. Trust me, if a landlord finds out and sees your property in Airbnb at 100 quid a night or whatever it is, and they're getting 500 quid a month, and they see at 100 quid a night, they're going to assume they're getting £3 a month. They're not going to understand that there's void periods, cleaning costs, maintenance, credit card fees, all these different things. They will think they're getting £3 a month and they're getting a bad deal out of it because they're only getting 500, and the letting agent and you have basically stabbed them in the back or cut them out of the deal. So if a landlord doesn't feel that that's a great deal for them, having a rent-to-rent agreement in place is irrelevant. The landlord will pull it, they'll take the keys back, and you'll say, well, we've got a contract in place, and all they'll say is it's a breach of contract and you'll need to take them to the small claims court or whatever. So it's not breaking the law, it's a civil law, it's breach of contract. So the landlord will just take the keys back. Trust me, if they feel aggrieved or hard done by, they're not going to see the agreement out for the next 3 years. You'll just turn up and they'll have changed the locks. So always needs to be a win for the landlord. Doesn't matter how strong a deal the agent sets up, because they could get greedy. You want to make sure the landlord is 100% on board in this and they're winning. Some landlords on financial difficulty and will take 50, but you can pay their mortgage at 200 quid a month when the rent's 500. They'll just be happy to get their mortgage paid. But if they see it and they aren't aware at the money at the end, you and the agent's making massive money and they're getting the bare minimum, they're going to be pretty upset, as you would be if you were a landlord. Now, that said, if a landlord knows the deal and wants their mortgage paid and is happy to take 50% market rent to get guaranteed rent for 3 years, then that's all good. But that means it's a win for the landlord, and that's important. The final one is, and probably the most important, is it needs to be a win for you. If the deal's structured in such a way that the landlord's getting 20% above market rent and the agent's getting double their management fees, it cuts down your margin and you're not actually winning out it. So you need to make your margins, whatever it is in your area, whatever your minimum figure is set for rent to rent. So yeah, let's say 500 quid, let's say £1,000. If you're not making that based on the figures, don't go ahead with the deal. Because if the agent's making loads of money, they're not doing anything. It's you that's taking the financial risk. It's you that's doing all the work. Agent's doing nothing and the landlord's doing nothing. So if they're getting like 50% above market rent, for you taking the risk, for you furnishing the property, for you paying all the bills and doing everything, it's unfair. So it needs to work for you. And again, if you've not done any deals or you're in the first stages of a few deals, you might say, I'll do it for experience, I'll do it to get a testimonial from that landlord and agent, I'll do it to find my feet and get the experience and the confidence to do it better next time. So my rent-to-rent deal, the first one, yeah, I think I did it pretty well, but I had a letting agency and I phoned up a landlord and did it within 20 minutes. They were happy to go ahead, but I paid market rent for that, so I was quite happy. They were happy, but had I not a big bank of landlords to phone, then I definitely would not have had a good deal at the early stages, talking 2 and a bit years ago. So I would have probably, for my very first deal, to get some experience, maybe taken a little bit of hit in the profit. As long as it all worked out and I knew I was going to make profit over a year, I'd maybe still do it in my one. Because if you're just doing one, then not making money doesn't make sense. But if you've got a plan to have 10 within a year or 1 a month for the next 2 years, your first one just could be your schooling, your testing ground, and then you improve on that every time. So it needs to be win-win-win. A win for you, a win for the landlord, and a win for the agent. Otherwise, these deals will not get set up, or if they do, they will fall apart very quickly. And that's not what you want. You don't want to be furnishing a property, taking future bookings, putting thousands of pounds and thousands of pounds worth of time and effort into it for these deals to fall apart. So sometimes you can get deals off landlords and letting agents, but they're not going to be win-win-win. So my advice is don't take them unless everybody in the agreement wins about it.